everybody, Miss Kelly here today. Our program for today is Marshmallow Peeps Science. Okay, you guys like science? Yeah, it's one of my favorite types of programs to do, is programs about science. And I bet you all like something sweet to eat. Anybody a fan of these peeps? You see them all over the place this time of year, so I thought it'd be fun for us to do a little science with them. Now, at the library, we have had our activity kits for you guys to pick up, and the kits included Peeps, some toothpicks, an observation sheet, and a ruler. Some other things you might want to have available to do our activities today are a bowl of water. It doesn't have to be as big as this bowl right here, as long as it is big enough to fit your peep and some water. And also some coins might be helpful to kind of use for one of our experiments. Okay, but really the most important thing you need is your peeps. Okay, but like I said, if you have some of the other little things, like I said, the coins, a ruler, and the bowl of water. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some time to get that all together before we get started. Okay. Like I said, we're going to have an observation sheet. And this is something that you can follow along with as we're doing our program. Okay. There are 4 different sections that kind of correspond to 4 different things we're going to do to our peep. Okay. Now you may have noticed you have more than one peep. Okay. That is because we're going to do more than one thing to the peeps. Okay. So first, we're going to make some observations. Okay. So if you are just joining us, we are getting started on our Marshmallow Peeps Science. Okay. We're going to make some observations about our peep. Okay. Now, what color are the peeps I gave you? Pink, right? Okay. Now, as scientists, what else can we say about the peeps? Okay. What can we tell by looking at them? What can we tell by feeling them? How do they feel? Okay. Are they hard? Not really. Okay. Are they sticky? Maybe a little bit in parts, right? They are marshmallow. Okay. Are they heavy? Not too heavy. All right. How big are they? Okay. And that is where our ruler comes in. Okay. No worries if you do not have a ruler as well. Okay, because you can also measure in what we call non-standard units. Okay, so that means, like, say you didn't have a ruler, so you couldn't measure in centimeters or inches or any of those usual measurements. You could kind of be a little different. You could say, my peep is 2 pennies wide, or my peep is 3 Legos long. Okay? You can use little objects, and you can tell me how many of those objects will make up the length or width of your marshmallow peep. So what I want you to do now is I want you to measure your peep, one of your peeps, with the ruler, or, like I said, the non-standard units, other objects, okay? And then tell me how long it is. Okay, so that is going to be, you're going to measure like that, okay, from the very front to the very back, and you're going to measure how wide it is, okay, how long and how wide, okay. If you are just joining us, we are just getting started. We're making observations about our Marshmallow Peep, okay, so we have our observation sheet, okay, and we're going to write down how long or how wide our Marshmallow Peep is. We are also going to write down any other scientific observations we can make about it. Color, feel, shape, weight, anything we can observe as scientists about our peep. Okay? So that's what we're going to do first. Okay? Let's see. Okay. I'd say our peeps are about 2.5 inches. Probably just about 2 inches, right, long. Okay. Or if we want to be different, do centimeters, we can say almost 6 centimeters long. Okay. And about 3 centimeters wide, or like about an inch wide. Okay. Like I said, if you're measuring using something else, using some non-standard units, feel free to write that down as well. Like I said, any other describing words: soft, hard, heavy, sticky. Okay, we're starting with our observations. Okay. Okay. All right. Once we have our observations down, what I want you to do is I want you to get your peep that has been in the freezer. Okay? Now, no worries if you didn't get a chance to do that, because that is something you can always do later. Okay? And it's also something that you can observe too after you've had your peep only in the freezer for a little bit. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you've really had a time to freeze it too much. We're just going to look and see how it's different from our regular peep. Okay? Do we have any guesses as to what could happen to a peep when it's in the freezer? No. Of course, it gets cold. Okay? Yes, our peep is going to get cold in the freezer, so it's going to feel different that way. Okay? How does it feel? Okay? Other than that, is it harder? Softer? Measure it and see if it changed in size. Okay? I'm going to measure my cold peep. Okay? And it's about the same as the other one. Okay? So it didn't really change in size much. Okay? Mine was only in the freezer for, since about 9 this morning. Okay? So not super long. So you can always put your peep back in there and see if that's going to make a difference. Okay? You can see if it's going to feel harder the longer you put it in there. You can see it's going to feel colder the longer you put it in there. Okay? And that's the fun about science, okay, is making guesses or hypotheses and then seeing if we're right or if we're not. Okay? So you can measure and write your observations about your Peep that's been in the freezer. Okay? But if you are just joining us, we are making observations so far about our Peeps. All right. So we measured and observed a room temperature Peep and a Peep that has been in the freezer. Okay. Now we're going to get to the fun part. Okay. That is our sinkable Peep. Okay, that's on our second page, is our sinkable Peep. Now there's a question mark there because do we know if a Peep is going to sink or float? Nope, we do not. That is the thing we're going to figure out. Okay, so that is where we are going to need our bowl of water. Like I said, it doesn't need to be as big as this one, as long as it will hold your Peep. As long as it's deep enough that you can see if your Peep will sink or float. Okay? So, I'm going to take my Peep and put it on top of the water. Okay? And let's see if it'll sink or float. All right. As you can see, it's not on the very bottom of my bowl. Therefore, it's floating. Okay. That kind of makes sense. It's not that heavy. Okay. It's not really dense. There's not a lot of material packed into a little tight space on our Peep. It's a marshmallow, and therefore, there's a lot of air in there. Okay. What we're going to do now is we are going to see if we can get our Peep to sink. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to get a little violent here. We are going to stick our toothpicks into our Peep. Okay? So we're going to grab our Peep and stick a toothpick. Okay? One toothpick. As you can see, the Peep is still floating. All right. Now I want you to see how many toothpicks you can stick into your Peep. Okay, I've got 2. I've got 3. 4. And keep going. And we're going to see if those toothpicks are going to make our Peep sink. It's funny, my Peep's kind of looking like it has a mohawk. Like all the toothpicks are hairs sticking out right down the middle. Now you can see as you're putting in the toothpicks if it makes a difference where you put the toothpick. Okay. Like, do you want them all in one place? Would that make it sink? Or leaning to one side? Would that make it sink? Huh? Okay. So that is our sinkable Peep. Okay. And we might have all different answers for that question, because all our Peeps are a little different. There, well, my Peep tipped over. Huh? with the toothpicks. It didn't sink, and let's see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 toothpicks in it. But like I said, we're all going to have different answers, okay? But so far, based on my observations, the Peep isn't really sinking, okay? It is just kind of leaning over, okay? So I'm going to take it out of the water, okay? And that is something you can experiment with more, which is, the reason why I gave you multiple Peeps. Okay? You can also experiment to see if the Peep will sink with coins. Okay? So I just took another Peep and put it in the water, and this is where you can grab some coins and try to sink it. Okay? The Peeps have kind of a nice flat head, so I'm going to stick my coins on top, and you can see how many we can fit on. And look at one coin in the very back tail of my Peep. Oh, it just about sank with 2 coins in its tail. Okay. You can see what kinds of coins make a difference. Okay. You could even kind of jab the coins into the Peep. Okay, like we did with the toothpick. Okay. But that is another little experiment where all our observations are going to be a little different. Okay. But it is a fun little way to do some science with our Marshmallow Peeps. Okay, learning about density and weight, mass, and all that good stuff. Okay? All right. So that is our sinkable Peep. Okay, so you can write down your observations about whether your Peep sank or floated. You can write down how many toothpicks or how many coins it took to sink your Peep. Okay. You can write how it behaved in the water. Did it tip over? Did it sink straight down? Okay. And that is going to be different for everybody. Okay. All right. So that is our sinkable Peep. Okay. The last thing we're going to do with our Peep is really my favorite. Okay. We are going to microwave our Peeps. I know we're being really, really nice to our Peeps today, aren't we? Yeah, I'd say so. So we are going to microwave it. Okay. Now this is something that I really can't do standing here while we're doing this live. So what I did is I recorded in my microwave what happened when I microwaved my Peep for 30 seconds. Okay. And here it is. So that is our microwaved Peep. Okay, like I said, that one's easy. Get a grown-up to help you and put one of your Peeps in the microwave for 30 seconds. Okay. Now, if you wanted to make a video like I did of my Peep, I would love to see that. Okay. See how your Peeps behaved in the microwave. Okay. And like I said, as far as timing, about 30 seconds should do it. Okay. All right. So that is our Peeps Science program for today. Okay. Like I said, you can continue to experiment with your Peeps. You can get some more Peeps and figure out more different ways to experiment and observe. Okay. Or you can just get more Peeps to eat. That's always good too. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. Our next programs on Facebook Live are going to be during Anchor Bay School's spring break. We have a program where we are going to be growing a bean seed in a little homemade greenhouse. We also have a program where we are going to be decorating piggy banks. That one does come with a free book, okay, in honor of Financial Wellness Month, which is April. Okay. And we are also starting our story times at Burke Park in April, as well as having a teddy bear picnic at Burke Park in April. So we are kind of transitioning a little bit into the in-person outdoor stuff, thankfully. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Bye.